How many of you have heard sales pressure? When there is a sales pressure, the prospect doesn't buy from you. How do we understand this sales pressure? Now, simply saying this is the pressure we put on the subconscious mind of the prospect when we say something salesy. Okay, now I have used some words called salesy and subconscious mind. So let me define again what is this conscious and subconscious mind, right? Now, most of the decisions we take, we don't really think about it. You agree? We, based on our past experience and whatever data is stored in our subconscious mind, based on that, we compare that everything with our past. And if it resonates, yes. If it doesn't, we say no. Right? So when I talk about salesy, what does sales mean? See, for many years, we have been subjected to salespeople, right? Who have been pushing their products to us. Okay. So you know how the salespeople work. They keep on talking about their product, what their product is good, you should be buying, we have got this discount. So people are fed up of hearing to all that. So all these things have gone into their subconscious mind. If somebody they see, that he's trying to push his product, suddenly their subconscious mind will tell them, oh, this guy is trying to sell you something. Oh, this guy is trying to offer you a discount and make you buy. This guy doesn't care about, he doesn't understand your problem. He wants to only push his product. So anything you say, anything you hear, which you have heard before when somebody was pushing the product, you feel it is salesy. That puts a pressure on your subconscious mind, right? That's what we mean by sales pressure. So let's understand the next. So how do you neutralize this sales pressure? Hidden sale. We call it the hidden sales pressure because it goes on your subconscious mind. Correct? So why do you need to neutralize this sales pressure? So we are different, we are high ticket closers. We are modern closers. We are not that old salesy salespeople who are pushing their products, right? We don't want to sell anything to anybody without understanding their problems, without understanding whether this product or program is really going to help them change their lives. So we have to neutralize this hidden sales pressure, right? So we should not be saying anything which will trigger this sales pressure in their subconscious mind, right? So what we should be doing, how do we neutralize this? How do we ensure that we do not create a sales pressure in the mind of the prospect? When you go into a call, when you start talking in a conversation, don't go with a mindset that you have to make a sale. But to identify if a sale is there or not, whether the prospect has problems which he wants to solve and your solution can solve that problem. That's all you need to do. If you focus your mindset on this, then you will be avoiding this sales pressure on the mind of the prospect. So what you need to do is detach yourself from the outcome of the call. Don't go, yeah, I have to make the sale, I have to make the sale. If you go with that mindset, you will start telling something which will build a pressure because you have you feel that yes, you want to close the sale by the end of the call. Then in the process, you will tell something which will trigger the sales pressure in the mind of the prospect. Okay. When you detach yourself from the outcome, this will avoid building the sales pressure in the mind of the prospect.
I saw a comment on this is a different type of sales pressure, and I wanted to just comment on that. So yes, guys, there is that pressure to make sales from your team manager or your the company or the coaches, whoever it is. That sales pressure is there. All right, it's there in every environment because we are the responsible for the income of the company. Okay, we are responsible. We are the rainmakers. Right? Without us, there's no money in the system, right? So yes, there is a lot of responsibility on us. We have a lot to bear on our shoulders, but we cannot take that and put it onto our prospects. We need to bear that weight by ourselves on our own. We cannot transfer that pressure to our prospects by any circumstances, because what you will be doing is getting desperate and shooting yourself in the foot. And eventually it's going to lead to a result where you're not getting any sales. But if you're able to bear that pressure and have this mindset, I don't care about anything external right now. Right now, my focus is exclusively on this person and how to find out whether I can help him or her or not. That's it. Everything else, any pressure outside has to be removed. And you need to get into a zone where you are ready to serve. That's the mindset. Over to you, Shri.
Yeah, absolutely, Om. Thank you for chipping in. Okay, so when you're able to remove the sales pressure, what is it you're going to gain? It creates a comfortable environment for the prospect to open up and share his problems and pains. That's what we need to do on the call, right? We need to make the prospect comfortable, then they open up to you and share their problem. When they know that you care for them, then they start sharing their problems and pains. And that will make your job easier. So how to do that? Use neutral language. Avoid triggering sales resistance, right? So I will not be going too much into neutral language because that's a big subject, but I will show you some example which can create a sales pressure. Like you have got on a call with somebody and you want to set another appointment, right? So you're asking the prospect, when can we get together on another call? Is tomorrow 3 p.m. okay for you, or Friday 11 a.m.? When you ask a question like this, the agenda is yours. The prospect has no interest, right? So this is going to trigger a sales pressure, right? So this is a bad example. Okay. Now, okay, I put together a simple graph. So what happens during a sales conversation? It's very interesting to understand this. From the time you start your call, so I put the x-axis during duration of the conversation, and assuming that it's a 60-minute call. So whenever you say something, salesy, you may not realize it, but in the subconscious mind of the prospect, okay, a sales pressure is triggered. And what happens when the sales pressure is triggered? It remains there. So the prospect forms an opinion about you. Okay, this guy is a little bit salesy. Okay? So during the conversation, when you say something which keeps triggering the sales pressure, there is a point will come where it will cross a threshold limit, when the prospect will come to a conclusion, this guy is pushing me to buy and I don't want to. See, people want to buy, okay? But it has to be them who will take the decision, right? They don't want to be sold. You just imagine whenever you went to a shop to buy something, you don't like a salesperson coming to what you want. You want to explore whatever options are available. Like you want to buy an iPhone. You want to explore the options, features, what you have in mind, you compare. Okay. And then you make a decision to buy. Right? You don't like to be sold. When you go and tell your friends also, you purchased an iPhone. Okay. You're going to tell them, I purchased. You don't say the salesman sold it to me. That's the mind of the mindset. So when you start getting these sales triggers and it crosses a threshold, then what happens? The prospect will stop listening to you and will try to escape from you, right? So they will come up with all sorts of objections. Prospect will feel pushed by you and they may raise objections. We can't afford it. Your price is too high. I need to go through the material. I'm not sure this will work for me. I need to talk to my spouse. Can we talk later? I'll call you back. All sorts of objections will come, which may not be real objections. Then you will be trying to handle these objections and you will get nowhere in closing the. Okay. So what you need to do is avoid assumptions. Don't push your prospect to move forward prematurely. This is relates to the example I gave, where you ask the prospect, when can we have the next call? Okay, you're assuming that the prospect will agree to you for another call without a reason. That means you're pushing him forward prematurely. You need to be building trust by understanding their readiness. You need to understand their problem. You need to have a proper reason for getting them to the other call. So you need to be solving the prospect's problems. Create value by addressing their needs. Like this is an example where there is no sales pressure. Using permission-based language. I really liked our conversation. Would it be appropriate to schedule another call to see if what we are doing would work for you? First is you told the prospect that you enjoyed the conversation, that you're connecting with the prospect. You see the words what I'm using, appropriate. Okay. And to see if what we are doing would work for you. We are not saying it will work. So now what you are doing, you're making the prospect decide. You're giving him an option. Do you think the prospect will agree? Most likely, yes. Unless he is busy on those days. So this is how you engage the prospect through neutral language without raising a sales pressure. So you can continue the conversation, going through all the steps what Aniket has listed. So there are some do's and don'ts which you need to take care. During a conversation, you need to have a calm and relaxed tone. There should be no anxiety in your face. There's no urgency for you to make the sale. Slow down your pace when you want to say something and you want your prospect to think about it. Show empathy in your voice. You guys understand what's empathy, all of you? Put yourself in the prospect's shoes. Think what's going on in his mind. Then automatically your tonality will change. Maintain a neutral and genuine conversational style. What do I mean by a conversational style? It's not that when you start asking the question, you've got a script, you've got question 1, 2, 3, you need to go through the framework step by step. You fire the first question, the prospect answered you. Then, okay, you have to ask another question. You fire the second question, he gives you answer. But you're not made any connection from the first answer to the second answer. That is not a conversational style. You have to connect what the prospect said in the last answer and ask a relevant question, next question. That is a conversational style. So we teach all of this in our, inside our exclusive course. We coach the people exactly how to do this step by step. Robotic or over-enthusiastic tone can disengage your prospect. You know how a robot talks? Can we have the call tomorrow at 3 p.m. or day after tomorrow at 5 p.m.? This is like a robot, no feelings, no tonality. Okay, or sometimes we are over-enthusiastic, So over-enthusiastic means it is a sales pressure, because it's old type of sales people used to be over-enthusiastic. So that triggers a sales pressure in the subconscious mind of the prospect. Okay, so no sales pressure means more sales. Eliminating sales pressure will lead to better results. So guys, focus on building trust and solving the prospect's problems. So some examples of neutral language, how you use, okay? You feel confident that this will work for you. How do you want to proceed from here? You've taken a commitment. Now, you're not asking for a payment. You're asking how do you want to proceed from here? Right? This is after taking a commitment. So another way of asking, you feel confident that this will work for you. Where do you think we should go from here? What would be the next step, if any, to see if we could possibly help you?